Okay, we are live. Welcome. Just checking everything looks as it should, and I think we're good. Just let me know if you are unable to hear me or if anything looks a little off at your end, but I think we're good. It's been a few weeks since I was on the weekly live class, so apologies if I'm a little bit rusty. Hi Tina, nice to see you. I've missed being here actually. It's been a little odd not being with you on a Thursday morning, but it's good to have variety on the platform and to see other teachers doing their thing and getting a varied approach to your yoga practice. So I'm happy that we're here sharing this live space together. All that being said, it's me today. I'm Joanna, if we've not met before. Thank you for joining. And this practice today is a Vinyasa practice for body conditioning. So what that means is we're going to be building a little bit of fire, a little bit of heat in spaces of the body that ideally we want to build strength so that we feel more safe, supported, and stable in our yoga practice. So this isn't a traditional Vinyasa class in any sense of the word. You're going to see some traditional shapes, of course, but it's also blended with Pilates. It's a bar-inspired practice. I was a professional dancer before becoming a yoga teacher, so there's lots of my dance conditioning training built into this practice. So it is a little bit different, so have your mind open to that. I hope that you feel those core areas strengthening. It will definitely be into the glutes and upper quadrants of the legs and potentially into the core and into the back and into the shoulders. So lots of spaces to focus our attention on today. As always, take it at your pace. I can't see you, so please listen for any modifications and make sure that you take those as you need them. And if you're just feeling like it's just a little bit too much, then please know to take your rest shapes of child's pose, tabletop, or down dog. If you're here for Shavasana, then you can just lie down and listen, and maybe you want to just be here and take notes, and that's great too. Okay, enough talking, let's get on to it. So for the class, you're going to need 2 blocks and a little chip foam block. If you don't have those things, you could try books, or instead of a chip foam block, you could try a folded blanket. That would work perfectly. I'll meet you on your mat in child's pose to begin. Okay, so knees nice and wide, big toes together, melting the pelvis back and down towards the heels. And then starting to fold the heart and forehead down to the mat. Relaxing the belly between the thighs, breathing wide into the sides of your rib cage. Starting to settle your energy, starting to receive the coolness and grounding from the floor. And know that this stability and coolness is always here for us as we need it during this practice. May you take a moment to recognize that you will be kind and compassionate to yourself in this class, especially amongst the moments of challenge. May we celebrate our strength, may we empower ourselves, may we have fun. Let's take some cleansing breaths together. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale from the mouth. 2 more cycles. Big inhale. Big exhale. Last one in. And out. On your next inhale, walk your hands over to the right as far as you can, placing your left hand on top of the right one maybe, and folding your head between your arms. Root down through your left hip, down towards your left heel, and breathe full into the left side of your body. Let's make a little bit of space around your shoulders and sideways. 2 more breaths. Use your inhale to come all the way through center and all the way over to the other side. Right hand can go on top of the left one here, head folding between the arms, forehead towards the mat. You can always place the forehead on a block here in your child's pose, especially if you don't want your head lower than your heart, or if you have any high blood pressure, dizziness, vertigo. And you can always bend your elbows some more if you need to accommodate the shoulders. On your next inhale, walk your hands back to center and take exhale in full child's pose. Inhale up onto your hands and knees, rooting the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Your toes can be tucked or untucked depending what feels good for your body. Start to rock your pelvis right and left, getting familiar with your hips. And then let's explore cat-cow for the spine. So inhale, tilting your tail towards the ceiling, softening your belly towards the floor, lifting your chest and chin up. And then exhale, rounding the spine, starting from the pelvis, moving all the way up to the crown of the head. Cat pose. 2 more cycles. Come forwards and up, keeping the elbows soft. Use your whole inhale breath to finish the movement. As your exhale begins, start that rounding process into cat. One last time. Inhale, forwards and up. Moving those shoulder blades back and down. Exhale to round the spine. Making your way into a neutral spine. If you want to put a blanket under your knees, or just under the left knee, as that's the one we're going to keep on the mat, feel free. We'll be here for a little while, so just make sure that you feel comfortable, or you could fold your mat over once or twice and use that as padding for that left knee. Extend your right leg back behind you. You're on the ball of your right foot. From here, you're going to lift your right heel to the same height as your right hip, keeping your hips facing down to the floor. Point your toes, and then take a little tap down to the floor with your right toes and back up. So the right leg is in line with your right hip. It's simply down and up. You're drawing your belly button in. You're extending the crown of your head forwards. Your shoulders are relaxed, your elbows are soft. You're thinking about a gentle hug from the inner leg lines, and you're lifting up from the back of your right leg. Very simple, down and up. Pointing those toes away. We've got 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Lift that right leg up. Bend the right knee and squeeze the heel towards the glute, flexing the right foot. Extend the right leg and point the right toes. And then bend the right knee, heel to glute. Continue like this, pointing that right foot away, lengthening the leg, and then hugging the right heel to glute. Imagine you're squeezing a grapefruit between your right calf and your right hamstring. You've got 4 more of these. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Keep the knee bent, and let's make circles. So bring that right knee towards your chest, over to your right elbow, out to the side, and all the way back behind you. Continue with that circle. Right knee to chest, over to the right elbow, up to the sky, and all the way back behind you. Keep going like this. Belly button to spine, elbows soft. This is where you might be starting to feel a little something, a little bit of a burn, a little bit of strength building into these glutes and hips. You've got 2 more of these circles, nice and big and slow. 1 more. And then push that right leg back behind you just as we began, but this time with the right foot flexed. From here, take your 2 blocks and place them underneath your hands. You can have them at any height. We're trying to create a little bit of space under the chest. Hug the right knee into the chest, engage your core, and step the right foot forwards. Press down into your right foot and lift your arms up and overhead. Low crescent lunge. Exhale, lower your hands back to the mat. Lift that right foot and push the sole of your right foot all the way back behind you, lengthening the leg. Again, hug the right knee to chest. Step the right foot forwards. Lift the arms up. Exhale, hands back to your blocks. Hug the right knee to chest and push the sole of the right foot back. 2 more times. Hug the right knee in. Step the right foot forwards. Inhale, arms to the sky, testing your balance. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, lift that right knee up. And exhale, push the right foot back. Last cycle. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, step the right foot forwards. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, right foot back. And just hold here. You can flex the right foot. You can point the right toes. If you'd like to take it a little further, try extending your left arm forward so you're in this full Superman pose. You've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that right knee. Good job. Sway your hips right to left. Exhale your breath. Remove the props and find your downward facing dog. Again, if you'd rather take child's pose here or tabletop position, no problem. Rock your hips, paddle your heels if you're in downward facing dog, creating a little extra love and length into the backs of your legs. Take a nice big breath in. And a full breath out. Inhale, ripple your body forwards into a plank position. Knees up or knees down on the mat. Find your breath. Find the shape. So shoulders over your wrists. All your fingers glued into the mat and spread wide. Belly button towards your spine. Tailbone towards your belly button. Crown of the head pushing forwards and heels pushing back. You've got 3 breaths. Let's go. Big inhale. Big exhale. Big inhale. Big exhale. 1 more big inhale. Big exhale. You can either return to your rest shape or simply tilt forwards and back on the balls of your feet. So imagine you're pressing the crown of your head into the wall in front of you. You've got 4, you've got 3, you've got 2, and you've got 1. Find your downward facing dog, tabletop, or child's pose. Couple of breaths. Notice where you are, notice how you're feeling, notice where you are warming from the inside out. Beautiful. When you're ready, finding downward facing dog or tabletop position. This time let's take a vinyasa. Inhale into your plank pose, knees up or down. Exhale, chaturanga, coming all the way to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra, roll your shoulders back, glue the tops of your feet to the floor, lift up from your chest. Exhale, lower your chest, press back to down dog, tabletop, or child's pose, and take 3 breaths. Now from your down dog or tabletop, float your right leg into the sky as you inhale. As you exhale, come forwards into your plank pose, but keep that right foot floating off the floor. Inhale, back to your down dog or tabletop, lifting the right leg up. 2 more of those. Bring yourself into your plank, right foot hovering from the mat. And exhale back to your down dog or tabletop. 1 more time. Inhale forwards, hover that right foot. And exhale, coming back and down. Lower that right foot or knee. And then meet in tabletop position with your right knee padded on a blanket, chip bone block, or with your mat rolled up. Hands are underneath your shoulders once again. And this time we're extending our left leg behind us. Set up the shape, crown of the head long, belly button pulled in, left heel to the same height as your left hip. Point your left toes and then begin to just tap the tops of the toes down to the mat and back up to the sky. Down to the floor and back up. So just like this, squeezing through your inner legs. Try and keep the weight equal between both of your hands. Try not to lock your elbows. Keep softness in the elbows. Keep the breath coming, inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. You've got 8 more of these. We're beginning here with our functional movement, just so that we can establish good posture, good alignment, safety, that connection to our core. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Keep the leg lifted, flex the left foot and bring the heel into the glute and push the sole of the left foot away. And again, heel to glute and then push the foot away. Continue like this, strengthening the 3 strands of our hamstrings, strengthening our glutes and hips. All necessary and valuable work for our yoga practice. As we know, sometimes we can be in a place of overstretch, over-flexibility, hypermobility, and not enough strength to support ourselves in our shapes. This is just a little reminder that the strength and the flexibility have to marry together. Last 3 here. Last 2. Last 1. Keep the heel to the glute. Hug the left knee to the chest. Take the left knee over to the left elbow. Left knee up and out to the left. All the way back behind you and hovering off the floor. These big mandalas, big circles with the left knee. Carrying on your own. Taking it at your pace. Bringing that left knee into its maximum circular shape. So you want the hips to have all mobility here and to be moving as slow and as big as you can to really feel this. It's easy if you go small and slow. Small and quick. It's difficult if you go big and slow. So let's go for big and slow. 2 more circles. I'm here feeling it all with you. My hips are shaking too. 1 more. And then extend that left leg behind you. Point your left toes. Find your lovely blocks and place them underneath your hands at any height. Hug that left knee to chest. Step the left foot forwards. And then rise your two arms into the sky for a low lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, lift that left foot up. Exhale, push the left foot back. Inhale, left knee to chest. Exhale, step the left foot forwards. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, left knee to chest. Exhale, push that left foot back. Again, inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, step the left foot forwards. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, push that left foot back. We've got two more. Inhale to draw the knee to chest. Exhale to step the foot forwards. Inhale, rise the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, push that left foot back. Last one. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, step that foot forwards. Inhale, low lunge, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, push the foot back. Stay here. Length through the crown of the head. Holding here, pushing away with the sole of the foot. Or if you want, you can point the toes back behind you again. Holding for 8. Maybe bringing the right arm out in front of you. Holding for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to the mat, knees to the mat. Remove your props. Exhale your breath. Maybe you want to sway the hips side to side in your tabletop. Maybe you want to come into child's pose. Maybe you start to rise into your downward facing dog. Lovely. Inhale, roll forwards to your plank pose, knees up or down. Let's find our 3 deep breaths here. Big inhale, big exhale, big inhale, big exhale, big inhale, cleansing exhale. Either stay in your plank, take a rest shape, or those little pulses forwards and back with the crown of your head. Rolling across the toes. You've got 4 more. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. And child's pose. Big releasing, audible exhale breath. You are doing the work. You are strengthening your body. Notice where you're feeling empowered, where you're feeling warmer, where you have worked. When you're ready, come back onto your hands and knees and maybe back into downward facing dog. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, roll forwards to your plank. Exhale all the way to the earth, Chaturanga. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, lower and step back to down dog, tabletop or child's pose. Take 3 breaths. Inhale your left leg into the sky from tabletop or down dog. Exhale, come forwards into a plank, keeping that left leg hovering. Inhale, down dog or tabletop, left leg in the sky. Exhale to your plank, left foot off the floor. Inhale, down dog or tabletop. Exhale, plank pose, legs still up. One more time, inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, come into your plank. And all the way back up. Lower your foot, look at your hands, bend your knees, walk, step or jump, top of the mat. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, press into the feet, float your arms all the way up to the sky. Hands to your heart as you exhale. And down by your sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. Big breath in. Big breath out. Now look at your feet, check that they're in parallel and your hip distance apart. You can have your hands to your hips. You can have your hands in Anjali Mudra at the center of your chest. Or you can take your arms overhead. You're going to bend your knees and sit back and down in your chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight is in the hips, weight is in the heels, chest is lifted. Everybody bring your hands to your heart space. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Put all the weight into your left foot and keep your left knee bent. Lighten your right foot and step back on the ball of your right foot. You're in a high lunge now. Maybe your arms come up and overhead. Lean forwards with your chest. Reach your arms forwards. And now extend your arms all the way back behind you. And imagine you're hugging a beach ball between your two hands. So not only are you hugging the arms in, but you're stretching the fingers back. You're moving your shoulders back and down. You can feel your triceps engage. So you try and lift your arms a little higher and a little closer in. Take a big breath here. And a big breath out. And a big breath in. And a big breath out. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Lift your chest. Bring your hands back to your heart space. Bring your arms back up overhead. Take another big breath in. And another big breath out. Take your arms wide and place your hands on your hips. Put the weight back into your left foot and lift your right leg up and back behind you for standing L shape. Now if you need the wall, use the wall with your hands, or if you prefer to bring your hands down to the floor onto blocks, feel free. You're extending the crown of your head forwards, you're pushing away with the sole of your right foot, your right heel in line with your right hip, crown of the head lifting. If you want to take your arms out into a T, or if you want to take your arms in parallel in front of you, feel free. We've got 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Lift your chest and lower your right foot next to your left foot. Whew. Rock your hips, shake out your arms, roll your shoulders. Stand in Tadasana. Notice how you are, how you're feeling, where you're feeling it. Breathe. Feel free to stay here in Tadasana, rooting feet to the earth, or take a Vinyasa. Inhaling both arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, knees soft. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank pose. Take a big breath in your plank. Exhale through Chaturanga Dandasana. And then up dog or baby cobra as you prefer. Exhale back to down dog, tabletop or child's pose. 3 breaths. Bend your knees, look to your hands, walk, step or jump, top of the mat. And take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, press into the feet, float your arms wide and up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Down by your sides. And in Tadasana. Full breath in. Full breath out. Look down at your feet. Check that parallel hip distance position. So for this version of chair pose, we don't want the big toes touching the heels slightly parted. We want the feet both parallel and hip distance apart, so that when we transition one foot back, the feet are already in the correct alignment. Hands to hips or hands to heart, or arms overhead. Find your chair pose. Utkatasana. Weight in hips and heels. Lift through your chest. Bend in your knees. Lots of breath. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra at the center of your chest, rooting down through that right foot, right heel. Lighten the left foot and step back on the ball of your left foot. Find your lunge. Bring your arms overhead. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. Hinge forwards from your hips. Reach your arms forwards on that diagonal line. Keep the body where it is and just slide your arms down by your sides and back behind you. Holding that imaginary beach ball once again. Stretch your fingers. Lift your arms a little higher. And can you now pulse the hands in towards one another, squeezing that ball between the hands. Keeping the arms lifted for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Nice. Lift your chest, lift your arms up and overhead. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Sweep your arms down, hands to hips. Lean into that right foot, lift the left leg up and back behind you, standing L shape. Use the wall if you need to, change the position of your arms as feels appropriate, or hands to the floor or on blocks in front of you. Lift up from the back of that left leg. Hug through the inner legs. Keep the hips square to the floor, chest lifting away from the floor for 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. Last breath. And then both feet to the front of the mat and come to stand in Tadasana. Whew. Good job. Rock the hips, shake out the hands, catch up with your breath. So good. So much energy and warmth and vitality running through your body in this moment. Your aliveness. Okay, one more vinyasa if you'd like to take it today. Otherwise, stay in Tadasana. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to a plank pose. And take an inhale, breath. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower or hover from the earth and come into your up dog or baby cobra. Exhale back to your down dog, tabletop or child's pose. And take 3 breaths. After your 3 breaths, you can find child's pose. Now if you're still in Tadasana at the front of your mat, inhale both arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold now. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your down dog. Take a full breath in, then a full breath out. And take as many more breaths here as you like, and then join us with your knees to the earth and in your child's pose. Okay, we are done with our strength work. So just notice where we targeted today. There was lots of work in our hips, glutes, hamstrings, There was work for the quadriceps in our chair pose and lunge sequences. There was work for the shoulders, the wrists, the triceps, the upper arms, and our core. Our core had lots to do in all those plank variations. And just give yourself a pat on the back. That was lots of strength, lots of functional movement. And you may have noticed how some of those exercises can benefit you in your more traditional yoga practice. Either from child's pose or in tabletop, I want you to slide your right arm underneath your left arm and lower your right ear and shoulder onto the mat. So you can do this from tabletop with the pelvis higher, or you can stay in child's pose with the pelvis lower. Your left hand can stay where it is, or you might walk the left hand forwards and slightly over to the right corner of your mat. You might extend the left arm up to the sky if you're feeling stable, or even put the left hand on your lower back or around your right hip. See how it goes. Just taking a couple of nourishing breaths into the chest and into the space between your shoulder blades. And just take 3 more breaths on this side. Root down through that left hand, come back up either into tabletop or child's pose. Exhale your breath, maybe move through the sides of the waist a little bit. And then as you're ready, sliding the left arm under the right arm, left ear and shoulder to the earth. Pelvis can be high or pelvis connected to your heels. Maybe right arm stays where it is or reaches forwards. Maybe right arm reaches for the sky or around your back. Again, just see what you need, what will serve you, what complements your breath. Check that your hips remain on the same plane and there's equal length in both sides of your waist. Sometimes in this shape we hinge or cinch the hips over to the side that we're stretching. So in this case, over to the right. So see if you can hug your right hip back and down a little and find length in that right side. 3 more breaths. And then root down through your right hand, come all the way back into your shape, tabletop or child's pose, and exhale your breath. And when you're ready, we'll walk the hands towards the thighs if you're in child's pose, or you'll directly start to sit onto your side if you're already in tabletop. We're going to come onto our backs next, so that we can give our lower back and our glutes a little sweet release. So come all the way down. Begin with your knees hugging into the chest and just a gentle rock across the lower back to release any residing tightness or tension there. Or if it feels nice, you could take your feet into full happy baby. So flexing both feet into the sky, bending the knees down towards the armpits, wrapping the hands around the outer feet, ankles or hamstrings, and maybe adding a little movement, or maybe just focusing on rooting the tailbone and both shoulder blades to the floor. 3 more breaths. And then hug the knees back to the chest. Place one foot down on the mat at a time, keeping your feet in parallel hip distance from one another. We'll just extend the right leg up, flex the right foot, hands behind the calf or the hamstring. Try and avoid the knee joint if you can. And you're just easing that right leg towards you while keeping your tailbone to the floor. If you want to extend the left leg down the mat, feel free. Otherwise, keep the left foot to the floor. And just take a couple of breaths into the hamstrings. Maybe roll that right ankle. And then externally rotate your right leg, crossing your right ankle to your left thigh. You can stay like this, or you could hug both of your legs into your chest and hold the back of your hamstring or around your shin. If you want some place in between those two options, you could put a block underneath your left foot so that it is slightly raised, and that might be the sweet spot for you. Right hand or right forearm can be pressing into your inner right thigh to add a little extra to this pose, but please be mindful of your knees and hips. Make sure you're never in any pain. We are looking for a gentle outer right hip and thigh stretch, but nothing more than that. Last 3 breaths. Releasing those audible exhale breaths to help cool us down. Lower the right foot to the mat. Lift the left foot into the sky, holding the calf or hamstring for a gentle hamstring stretch for 3 breaths. Keeping that left knee as soft as you need. Maybe adding in some little circles with your left ankle. From here, externally rotate that left leg, cross the left ankle to right thigh, thread the needle or figure 4 shape. Here we go. Maybe your right foot stays on the floor, elevates on a block, or maybe both of your legs come closer to chest. Left foot flexes, left knee moving away from your chest and keeping the back of the pelvis and shoulder blades to the floor. You can add a little rocking motion here if that feels good, or simply remain still. And just taking 3 more breaths. And then you'll start to make your way into your Shavasana with your legs nice and long and wide. Your arms nice and long and wide. And just nuzzle your body into the floor, allowing yourself to receive that coolness and stability from the earth once again. The guided part of this Shavasana will be quite short today, so if you would rather stay here for a lot longer, past the length of this class, then feel free to stay, no problem. Start to drift, start to relax, start to allow for softness. And as you do this, give your body thanks for the power that it houses, its ability to hold and support you. May we be reminded of the benefits of this type of class, this way of moving. May it support our journey onwards. And as I said, if you have longer for Shavasana today, please take that time as you need it. And just know that when you're ready, you can start to deepen your breath and add those delicate movements back into your body, taking a nice big stretch, hugging the knees in, and moving onto your side. And then when you're ready, as you're ready, there's no rush. Just know that you can finish your practice by guiding yourself up to a seat and sitting in Sukhasana for a few breaths to just assess how you're feeling and how this practice has supported and shifted you. And give thanks to yourself for carving out this time, for showing up for your body in this way. And then seal your practice with a big inhale and a cleansing exhale. Thank you all for your time, your energy, your breath. It's my pleasure to guide you always. Namaste.